The beginnings of this or the end of this or
I want
any
to know
creative
how you
ideas?
came up with the idea in the first place to do cult.
I had always really been interested in doing something about Charles Manson. And then I thought a lot of that happening, but I was interested in that idea, maybe not of Charles Manson, but of a cult. So I thought cult is a great thing, and I like that title. And I had been bantering a lot of cult ideas around, and then the election happened. So then I thought, well, let's do something about the cult of politics and the cult of personality, and I was just kicking around, and then came election night. And I thought, well, this is really interesting because everybody had had a lot of big feelings about that. Right around this time, where I was kicking the ideas around, Sarah and I went out to dinner, and without telling her anything, because I really never do until it's time, I said, hey, Sarah, do you have any phobias? Every phobia that she has in this, it comes from the dinner where she really told me about her real phobias.
He's really nice, isn't he?
So let's talk about your character. You've told me this. This is one of, if not the hardest characters you've ever done in your career.
Yes.
Talk about that from a physical point of view, because you really had to transform, and then also from an emotional point of view.
Physically, he's taking a lot of Adderall. So I wanted to lose a lot of weight, and I was doing this ketosis diet where I was just eating massive amounts of fat and shedding pounds, which is weird. So that was exhausting. And then obviously cults, there's a wealth of information. So I just watched tons of documentaries.
You also played many characters this year.
The thing that was so amazing about it, I thought, was how, we get these scripts at the last minute. Evan would all of a sudden be like, wait, what? Oh, tomorrow I'm playing Manson. That's just what
How did you research that? YouTube is our friend.
YouTube.
Let's talk about your blue hair, because that was actually Evan's idea. He went to do it, he was like, oh no, I was kidding. No.
I didn't want it that blue.
I also love when you would lose your shit. And then, what was that like? Did you
Oh, that was fun. But newscasters do have a kind of cadence, and they're always trying to be entertaining, no matter who they're talking about. And so I try to keep that going. And then that magnificent scene that you guys wrote for me. Who came up and then kind of steal the spotlight. That was good.
Which is based on a group of women reporters doing live casts. Not a lot of men too, but mostly women, and sort of fratty guys coming behind them in the air yelling expletive, and we fell into a YouTube wormhole for that. So that was cathartic for you, you're saying?
Yes, it was. It was. And I have a problem with they want to grab me. I'll grab me back.
Billy Eichner is one of my favorites. I've loved him for a long time. And how Billy and I started was we just had a sort of general meeting, and what I love to do more than anything is to take somebody and sort of give them an opportunity to do something different. So Billy and I were talking about he's obviously a comedic genius, but we were talking about he really wanted to get into something dramatic. So Billy, can you talk about that, about being an actor and having people in the industry typecast you and only want to see you in a certain way? What was it like for you as an actor to get the opportunity to do something you had always wanted to do?
I just got so sick of playing the romantic lead. Hollywood will put you in a box. It is a Hollywood thing, and it happens to everyone on a certain level. Maybe there's a handful of actors, the Meryl Streeps of the world, that it doesn't happen to, but most actors get put in a box. And I came out, I came out. You got to know me from Billy on the Street and Parks and Recreation. It was just a comedy. I always kind of knew with Billy on the Street that if it did take off, this would be a problem because it was so specific. I was using my own name on the show, and people just want to believe it's you. And so it's hard to break out of that. And so Ryan came up to me at a party one night. And so we had a meeting, and I basically kind of poured my heart out and basically said that I love all the crazy comedy stuff that I do, but I feel like you're one of the only people, because Ryan is such a visionary and a genius, and
we worked this all out next time.
Yeah. And I also kind of appeal to you as a gay person who, I thought Ryan is one of the few people in this town who will maybe give me an opportunity to do something other than what I'm known for doing. Yeah. And Ryan's one of the few people who does that, not only for me, but for so many actors.
So how do you guys feel about directing in the next season?
I want to.
I know, you're going to, so how do you feel about it? Tell me.
I feel scared about it. Terrible fear.
Just no one more prepared. And the same for Evan. You're going to be great.
And you don't want to waste it?
They're coming back because they're all coming coming back, so it doesn't have to be am I coming back. Any question you want to know?
Will Billy have his shirt off?
Just for my
No!
Is that really your question?
No, I just like to rib Billy. Sorry.
Okay,
Now
okay.
let's be serious. And I can feel like fans of the show being like, yeah, ask the right question.
Will it be set in the future or present day?
It is set in the near future.
Come on, Leslie.
I know. There's a
Go ahead, Billy. You've got something. I see it.
Cult was a bit more sort of grounded and less sort of fantasy inspired. So is
This is good, Billy. This is good.
Is this one more fantasy inspired than Cult?
It is more in the tone of it's heightened. It's not necessarily as realistic and grounded as the past season. We're sort of getting back to the asylum coven. That's the tone of it.
Come on, are there minorities in it?
Our leads are indeed minorities.
Who knows? We might not hear anything until
I have a
June.
question about like it's in hair
Will we be
and
wearing
wardrobe and
wigs?
will we be
I'm
wearing
not,
wigs?
I'm not going to ask you a question
But
for
what do
you.
because it's in the future, right?
But only 18 months.
You never know.
Yes, we'll be wearing costumes. You guys wear wigs and crazy stuff every
No, but I
year.
mean, is there,
Is it gonna be fantastical or more?
I'll tell you something about you because I can tell what's happening.
Oh, I know.
So the funny thing is I'm going to bring it back to Cult, ladies and gentlemen. So we shot Cult and it was very taxing on Evan, and around Thanksgiving, I was talking to Evan and he said, you know what, this show is so hard. It's so difficult to do that material. And I said, I know, but you did so great. And so your part this year is a comedic part. You are comedic and you play a hairstylist.
Will Evan get to style Joan Collins' hair?
Joan Collins, yes, it plays Evan's grandmother.
There is so much information out there right now.
Well, I will end by saying that one of the great joys of my life is doing the show. I love this show so much. I love the idea, which we have done since season 1, is to create this great group of actors who come together and get to know each other, and as Sarah and Evan said, trust each other and go to places. And one of the other things I love is, I just love the ability to reach out to people that I love, and have been fans of, and say, hey, would you like to come and play in our sandbox? And I'm lucky enough that most of the time they say yes. But to this group of people, you were all extraordinarily brilliant this year.